Hi there! I'm Laura and welcome back to my channel. Right, so I've been feeling a bit nostalgic recently and I've been flipping through some photo albums and that got me thinking about my childhood and about how it was probably very different from your typical childhood. When I think about my childhood, only a few things come clearly to mind. One of them is my abuelita. The others are my two best friends I had at the time and the dog we had. Okay, so to start it all off, I am an only child. My parents did want more children, but after a miscarriage, my mom and also my dad decided that one child was enough. Right, so both my parents work, but obviously when you have a child, you can't just leave that child alone. You do need to have someone who can watch your child. I went to my abuelitas. That's my mom's mom, to be clear. So all that was fine, and then I started school, which in Holland starts at age 4. As a child I was very energetic and full of righteous anger if I didn't get the toy I wanted to play with at the time. I kid you not, I actually punched a kid off his bike because I thought it was my right to cycle it around the playground. Needless to say, my mom was not amused when the boy and his mom showed up at our house. I must say, to this day, I am still proud I managed to punch a moving person, or should I rather say a cycling person, with such accuracy that he got a bloody nose. Just saying. Right, so school starts and my mom drops me off every morning and picks me up for lunch breaks, which is a thing here in Holland. They let you go home for about an hour and a half, so you can have your lunch at home instead of at school. So my mom picks me up and we go to my abuelita's house for lunch. My mom didn't raise me a multilingual, so at that point I only knew Dutch. So here we both were, a child who only spoke Dutch and a woman who only spoke Spanish fluently and enough Dutch to go buy herself groceries. So while I didn't speak Spanish at all, I had heard it all around me for as long as I could remember, so I understood most of what was being said. Every time my abuelita would say something to me, I would respond to her in Dutch and she would understand me. So she spoke Spanish to me and I spoke Dutch to her and we both understand each other. So that was one weird conversation going on, but hey, at least we understood each other, right? So I'm getting off topic again. So back to the lunch breaks. So lunch break arrives, my mom picks me up, we go to my abuelita's house, then break's over, she drops me off at school again, and I sit out the last few hours at school. Bell rings at 3:30 p.m. Boom, I'm free. So what happens? Well, what happens is my abuelita's house is a short walking distance from my school. So my mom doesn't come to pick me up because she's at work. So the thing is, I have to walk the short distance to my abuelita's house and I spend the afternoon there until my parents come and pick me up. Which was great! Absolutely fine. I loved it there. I walk the short distance, I come, well, home, and we both just sit on the couch and we watch telenovelas together, which is amazing looking back on it, because at the time I did not grasp what a telenovela was. I just found it hilarious. I just loved it. I once saw a woman push another woman off the stairs and there was this dramatic cut of them both staring at each other and I was like, wow, I love this. So there were three There were 2 telenovelas she actually followed, and we both watched them. And after they were over, she turned to me and said, "You can watch your muñecos now." Roughly translated, muñecos means stuffed animals. So she referred the cartoons to as muñecos because she found that funny, I guess. I don't know. I think this was the routine for a couple of years. I think from age 6 to 10, I believe. Again, don't quote me on that. It's been a long time since I've had that mindset. And after that I would still go to my abuelitas after school. But by then I had a bike, I believe. My whole time at middle school I was at my abuelita's house after school. So, as I said, we started at age 4, and I think we graduated to high school at about 12. So I think just the last 2 years I had a bike. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure anymore. Well, you live and you learn. Oh boy. Why am I like this? Moving on, moving right along. Right, so I only had one friend in the neighborhood of my abuelita's house. So I saw her every Friday. That was like standard. We ate together and most of the times we slept over. But that was Friday. And I saw her some other days as well, but she was 2 or 3 years older than me, I believe. So at certain times she was with her own friends and I was just chilling at my abuelita's house. What you gonna do, right? So like I said, there was a certain routine going on, and my abuelita and I had a routine as well. When I was younger we just watched the telenovelas and the muñecos, and she gave me, every day she gave me a cornetto, and I absolutely adored it. And when I was a bit older we started playing a board game, and she would always cheat. Always would she cheat. And when I accused her of cheating, she would just deny everything. I swear, you could give that woman an Oscar for her acting. It was phenomenal. And she was like, oh, no, me? Never. And then she would look at you and she would give you the biggest smile you'd ever see. And it was just a great time. I mean, it may sound silly to some people because I had a great time with my abuelita, with my grandma. Right, so getting back on track. My parents would come and pick me up around 5:30 to 6 p.m. The times changed around. It wasn't always the same time schedule. So then they'd pick me up, we'd go home, and then I'd play on the playground till dinner. But that would be the time where I would play with my other 2 best friends. One is a girl, one is a boy. So to avoid any confusion, I'm gonna name them. So let's name the girl Rose, and let's name the boy Peanut. Rose and Peanut. One is obvious, one is not. Rose, if you're watching, hi. So Peanut and I are the same age, but Rose and I aren't. She is about 2 years younger, I believe. Most of the time Peanut would already be on the playground by the time I had arrived home. And sometimes Rose was as well, but most of the time she was not. Right, so most of the time I would play soccer with Peanut because Rose wasn't there. And if I was playing with Rose, we would mostly play hide and seek or tag or, you know, jumping the rope or something like that. Gosh, diggity darn it. Right, the fights. Peanut got into fights, Rose ran from them. I was like, fuck them all. And touch me, I will punch you. But mostly, I didn't punch anyone. Mostly. I have some pictures that sparked this whole video, so I'm just gonna real quick show them to you. Okay, so my mom always told me that this orange jumpsuit was connected with my mischievousness, and looking at that face, I can't blame her. It's so very adorable. I believe I was feeding the ducks here, and yes, I know bread is not okay to feed to ducks. And moving right along to this one, yes! We have a winner, yes! Adorable. Look at that face. Was I happy or was I angry that I got the ball? I don't know. It was just... That was typically me when I was a child. I was happy and slightly angry. Always. This picture is me with my abuelita. I absolutely adore this picture. It's just so very, very adorable. Look at the little thing on my head. Adorable. And look at the angelic smile of my abuelita. So adorable, this picture. And lastly, but not least, this is me in Spain in our little apartment with this silly duck. I mean, look at me, I'm so pleased to have caught it. It's just... and I'm slightly hiding behind it, but you can't deny that smirk. It's there, people, it's there. Right, so... Also, that couch is very comfortable. Right, so I'm gonna leave this video right here. And I'll see you in the next one.